actual groundbreaking, and today is just kind of setting it up. And when I started this a couple years ago, I was trying to figure out another project to do, and I thought I went to these solar home tours that go around town every year, and I kept looking at them and thinking, why isn't one starting from scratch and putting everything into it and seeing what it would really take to make the most energy efficient house, sustainable, green, and find out what it really costs. And that's what I wound up doing, and the result is the S.E.E.D house. And I put everything into it that is green and sustainable, that's whole house rainwater recycling, the rainwater harvesting, the best windows, the best insulation, radiant floor heating, radiant floor cooling, which is the experimental part of it. I'm pretty sure it'll work in the spring and fall. The summer, when it's monsoons, will only be the test of its veracity. And the Department of Energy is interested in monitoring this. I'm working with Davis Energy Group in California and the Build America program, and Lons from the university, ASRISE, they're interested in seeing the cost effectiveness of it and the energy efficiency of it. And getting close to a net zero makes it real, and even though it costs more in some ways, I was able to trade off some finishing things and put all the energy efficient stuff in the structure so someone never has to deal with that again. So it's like no utility cost forever, and if they ever want to change or upgrade this stuff, they can. At their leisure, go to Home Depot or whatever. So finally, it's here. And I built that a year ago for the Team Association of Government Energy Expo, and it's surprised that it's still standing, because when I was driving down at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had it on my trailer, it fell off. Down River Road, right at the bend north of Campbell, and I went, oh, geez. I thought it had broken apart, but no, it's still there. So
it's a good test.
It's a good test. So that's the hurricane force kind of structural insulated panel.
Or the Tucson pothole test, right?
Right. No, I just didn't. I figured it was so heavy it couldn't slide off, and I just didn't have it balanced right on the trailer. And once it hit that bending point, it went up and then just slid right off, and I went, uh-oh. And, but it's still there. It's still there. And in case anybody knows, this is polyurethane foam. When people talk about structural insulated panels, there's two kinds of foam. There's polystyrene, which is what this stuff is, and most panel companies use that because it's less expensive. But it's not really, because I priced this house out from two different companies, the KC panels, which is polyurethane, and the Premier Building System up in Phoenix. And this time around, it was about the same price. Expensive, but still the same price. And the R factor for this is twice. It's almost twice what that foam is. So it's like, this is a no-brainer. Plus, KC's has a connection process that is so simple. If this is the wall, you put your 2x4 down, panel comes 4 feet wide, 10 feet tall, sit this down, plumb it, staple it off, and the wall is done. And it's just, couldn't be any easier and simpler. Other companies, they have a cam mechanism, they have bolting things, it's kind of just, it's not the keep it simple process. So, once figuring out the walls, that was kind of simple, and the roof was simple, and then I researched the window companies to find the most cost-effective window, and it was Milgard. And they exceed the energy standards from Doe. The cutoff is like 0.3, and anything below that is what they require these days to get the rebates and stuff. Their window like that is like $500 more in a $4,000 house for a lifetime warranty, not only on the window but on the glass breakage. So if somebody breaks the glass, kid, whatever, they replace it free. Labor and materials forever.
Where's it made, Michael?
Phoenix.
Oh, good.
Phoenix. And they're throughout the country. So it's like, again, a no-brainer. You know, that's the window. And then the floor, well, the floor knew it was going to do radiant floor heating, but being that it was so expensive for such a small time of the year, it didn't make sense to pay for it. But then it hit me that, well, what if I can cool that floor first also? I've already paid for the floor, I've already paid for the tubing, so if I can cool the water down and run it through it, I can cool that slab down to a decent cool temperature in the summer, and then use the air handler to suck that cool air off the floor and blow it back into the space and circulate it. So that's the only, what I would consider experimental part that Doe is really interested in to see. If you can eliminate an air conditioner for 7/8 of the year, boy, the cost reduction, operating costs are so much better. And that allows the photovoltaics, which brings it down to a near net zero house. So I don't need as much electricity production, don't have to use as much. Therefore, any excess, especially in the winter, when you're not using the electricity to heat and you're not using it in the spring and fall, the excess goes to TEP and your meter goes backwards. Theoretically, they just give you credit at the end of the year. So finally, it's about to break ground. And that's about it, folks. I'm really glad you're all here. People that mean the most to me with this project. So thanks for coming. Anybody wants a brownie? Costco special. Anyway, any questions or anything? We're happy to. Oh, that's all right. The house is going to sit right here. There'll be a patio wall. I'll just go stand back there. Like right here. So it goes down diagonally to the edge of the driveway, and then this is the whole rear yard of the house, and the center of the house, which is where the living room, the great room is actually right in this area here.